Hi, I'm Dan,
And I'm Eric.
and you are due for a sharpening.
Oh, it did?
Yeah,
Of course.
skip 4 again. So I'd like to start.
Right out of the gate.
I don't care who I offend in this room of my brother-in-law and my brother. I'm fucking edgy, son.
Yeah. Wearing that Carhartt shirt.
No.
Whatever.
No.
Stormy Cromer.
That's not why I'm edgy. It's because this is a hockey podcast, and I would like to talk about Israel.
Ooh, hot
topic. Where's the?
There
we don't
have
have
two
a button.
wars.
we got the cricket button, but we don't have a "Don't Talk About Israel" button. I don't even know what that one would sound like.
That sounds like an air raid horn. That doesn't sound good.
I didn't even fucking hear that.
What? How did you?
There you go.
No, yeah, there it is.
You're right. That's an air raid. It's just in a different language.
My apologies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or so those of you who aren't watching.
So
everyone. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Did y'all hear that?
Right.
A bunch of shit just got knocked onto the floor. That's great.
This is great.
Boxes of fucking boxes of ammo. We're going hunting soon. Look, Eric, and Evan, this is my new coat.
Oh, we got it. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Like that. Anyway, to a more, something more commodious to fit our narrative here. Yeah. Did anybody else score 4 goals last night?
No.
In the first skate they've done in a month because he's fucking pathetic.
You want to talk about pathetic?
I didn't say that. Didn't say that at all.
Go
Evan,
on.
Read the minutes back to me. How long have we been doing this episode? We don't know. We're trees. Yeah, put it in the chat there.
Oh,
3.5 minutes. I'm not saying another word until he. Okay, 3 minutes. All right.
That's not long enough.
It probably that's not even true.
He's lying to us.
Dump it. Yeah.
What is this about?
I played hockey last night in the newly renovated Barrie Event Center.
Oh yeah,
in Marquette, Michigan, where the NMU Wildcats play. What's
different
you ask?
Yeah,
dude. All right. So okay. So there's a couple things about the Barrie. The visitors bench, the actual bench was always like 7 inches lower than the home bench.
We know they do that on purpose, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But I didn't sit on the visitors bench last night, so I don't know if they maintained that trickery.
Okay.
But it's a good bit of it, right?
Probably.
Because you got all these like 6'4" hockey players looking like they're on their skates taking a shit with the tops of their shin pads up to their ears.
So they sit
on this bench.
There's actually a scientific reason behind why they do that. And I just found this out the other day. With your legs propped up, your knees are above your waist. All the lactic acid,
a blood flow thing?
The lactic acid builds up in your thighs and you cramp up.
Yeah, we can blow out some ligaments.
Right. So they make the benches for the visitor shorter so that you get that, your legs get tired faster.
Well, with barely any playoff appearances, like fucking ever in a long time, and 1 national championship, I would say other teams should write in to NMU's decision-making department and be like, yeah, you guys can go ahead and fuck with us a little bit because you're going to need it. But hopefully this helps. But no, man, it's pretty beautiful. They have seamless glass now.
Ooh,
So there's no stanchions between the glass.
that's nice.
Yeah, it's all, it's all nice and smooth. So you're not going to get those errant. Well, you still might. I mean, there's a tiny little crack between panes, right?
Yeah.
And the right angle, a puck could still pop funnily out from that. But I don't know if it's a safety measure, but there's this weird rubber lining, like a cap, on the dasher of the boards all the way around.
Really?
Which I don't really know what that's for, because they don't, they wear cages.
Right.
So it's not like you're protecting someone from getting Claude Lemieux'd into the dasher with your face. And even if you were, that fucking rubber is not going to stop it. So we'll have to ask.
Permanent?
It's permanent. Yeah. It's not like fucking paint tape that's going to come off
should
later.
Ask Karsten.
We'll ask Camper. Yeah. So there's that. And then the main thing is just how much more space you see on the benches because of, although it's funny, going from Olympic ice to not NHL ice, a hybrid ice, couldn't have meant you drop more than like an inch and a half, 2 inches. But somehow they recreated the benches to where it's insane. I've never seen a rink that has a platform for coaching staff that's this large.
Really?
It's like it outdoes stages at most, bars and venues in inner cities that aren't arenas that are known for musical entertainment.
Jesus.
5 feet my ass, dude. It's fucking it's like 7 feet. It's a giant wide platform. And then there's the bench and then there's the boards.
Weird.
So it's pretty cool. It was very weird. We also, there wasn't a lot of livelihood on the bench last night. There was a substitute for each side. So a lot of ice time. Oof. But
that's why you scored 4 goals. You're on the ice.
Because I was out there all the time. That's right. Yeah. But it was sweet. It reminds me of, it reminds me of a lot of shit. But, it's cool that NMU's got a little bit of a new atmosphere. Anything can help bolster a renewal, some sort of idea. Maybe with the Grant Patolny era of NMU and bringing in, more players from European countries to try and get. Look, let's face it. If you're not in the the Big East and the Big Ten, it's really hard to win a championship. It's really hard to perform to that level, even if you have a good team.
Yeah,
because it's a catch-22, right? In order to get a competitive program, you have to draw the top players in the country. But in order to draw the top players in the country, because you have a competitive program, you have to already have a competitive program. You watch NHL games and they're like, oh, between these two teams, there's 8 U of M alumni playing. Right. And they still don't win the fucking championship. So college hockey is insanely difficult, even for the teams that are perennially powerhouses who are always going to be in the mix at the end. But for a team like Northern Michigan University, anything, you got to aid to that culture of winning, and maybe a little bit of a change in nuance to the rink
Well, on top of that, too, you know, these bigger schools, they're in bigger cities. They have probably higher accredited colleges that kids can go to, so it looks a little bit better on a pedigree.
Yeah. And if you're, you know, if there's already talk that you're probably going to be a draftee, it pays to go to schools that, if you're a person that you are being pined after by all 187 D1 programs in the country. That's hyperbole. I don't know how many there are, but there's a lot.
Yeah, you can take your pick, basically.
Yeah, you can take your pick. Exactly. And nobody who was... So NMU sometimes has transfers from, you know, Ferris State. I've never seen one from U of M in my time following them, but it's good. Look, you got to do what you got to do as administrators and planners and coaches to get everybody on the same page. Even if you do something and you try and it turns out to be one of the worst ideas anybody's ever fucking seen. Like, I got to ask you guys about this. Have you ever heard of Matt McKelvey?
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Good. It's a trick question. He doesn't. No, he does.
Fuck you.
So, Matt McKelvey, what was his name? Matt McKelvey. Yeah. I had a few beers when I finished.
Doesn't look tight.
Okay, so Matt McKelvey, in the inaugural 1993 season of the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, Disney, of course,
this is going to be good.
Made a team that the NHL agreed to, you know, let happen because they're a very reputable, dynastic entity with insurmountable integrity. They said, let's make a hockey team in our league, the best league in the world, based off of a fucking Disney movie.
And not even a good
I'm
one.
of the... yeah, not a good... I'm of the camp that Mighty Ducks, those movies are fucking bullshit. Never liked them, never thought they were cool. The pivotal... No, fuck that. Although it doesn't help that I was watching Slapshot by the age of like 11.
Well, no, it doesn't
hence
help.
My pate mouth.
But it kind of does help because you realize how sensationalized those types of movies are.
I always, you know, this from the little things, like when somebody C cuts on the ice and it makes the sound of a katana being unsheathed. I mean, okay, so I was watching this thing earlier and it was this guy's great. Real History, REEL on YouTube.
I've seen that.
He's a history professor who comments on period piece movies. And he was doing Mel Gibson's The Patriot.
Oh, good.
Right. And it's like one of these tropes that in these armies, these soldiers are like these clumsy, idiotic, buffoonish boobs who don't know how to hold their weapons, who've never been trained fucking at all. And like one character can take the like hordes of them out, right? So if you're on a road and you start getting shot at and you're surrounded by trees, you don't take cover. You just look.
Nope.
No, I don't like this. So it's not any different to me than a hockey movie where they're like, we're going to build a championship team, not out of players we find in local hockey programs, because that's not fun. That's not sexy. That's not Disney. You got to find this ragtag group of, stereotypical ethnics and fats and orphans and, the fucking coach who got like the most minor offense possible that turned, like in today's age of TV and movies, Gordon Bombay would have been like, yeah, I was in a biker gang and I got busted on a meth production charge and I did about 27 years in the can. And that's why I'm coaching your stupid ragtag, what is it? What the hell is that Walter Matthau movie called? Dennis the Menace.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm coaching your team. But in the movie, it's like, I got arrested for throwing a punch at a guy in a bar. Isn't that horrible? And it's like, if you're going to build a good hockey team, I mean, half the players are going to have records like that. The Bob Proberts and Ty Domies and all
so
that shit.
What they need to do next is make the next segment of the Mighty Ducks movie. It should be guys who, they got into a bar fight, but they were sent to like Guantanamo.
Yeah.
And
it should be a mix of reality and a little bit of fun. So it's like the Breaking Bad news bears.
Yes.
like that type of thing, So yeah, Mighty Ducks movies, as far as hockey reality goes, it's just pandering, fake. Ask one person who played hockey before you fucking throw millions of dollars at the production of this movie. Well, that didn't matter. They made a fucking hockey team out of it anyway, right? In the NHL. So NHL in 1993, they have the inaugural game for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. And I'm not blaming the players are excited. They're a part of a expansion team. As we know from the last couple of years, expansion teams, it gives a really good opportunity for players who maybe it was dubious that they were going to get some decent money out of a career in a job that takes literally everything you've got. So you'd hope you make some money out of it. I mean, pro hockey is very much like a gig job, right? It's about per diem. It's about putting a gig together. That's why you see guys who play for 11 different cities before they retire, because you gotta make a job of it. And by the time you retire, you still got half your life left. So you better hope you made enough money, because most likely your dumbass doesn't know anything else on how to do anything, right?
Unless you're George Peros.
Right, because you went to Princeton. And then you have something to fall back on.
He's got a law degree.
Right. But he didn't play for the Mighty Ducks in 1993. He made a good career in Anaheim, but he wasn't there for this. So 1993, they have the inaugural game. They have the cast of Beauty and the Beast come out on the ice.
Yeah. Wait, are you going to talk about the duck coming?
You're close.
Okay. Keep going.
You need a refresher. Okay. So the Beauty and the Beast, you got the candle holder.
Right.
The candles.
The crock pot.
I forget. I can't name them all. You know what I mean? Yeah. The crock pot, the teapot, the maid.
The wildebeest.
The wildebeest in the suit, with the hat, and Colonel Mustard in the library with the pipe. So that went on for an ungodly amount of time.
It's like 2 hours.
We welcome you to the greatest show in town. Welcome, Gabbo. Right? No, It was, yeah. So they did that. And fucking then on the Jumbotron, they had this, like animated thing where it was like, inquisition of airplanes, right? But no, they're not airplanes. They're the duck character.
Oh, I do remember.
So it's the Jason mask, but it's got the bill, and they're in like robotic. So it's like a legally safe knockoff of Transformers. And but it's for the Ducks, right? So it's got like a lineup, and they're in that stupid flying V, the thing that the movie insisted would trick hockey players into letting you score on them.
Which is really funny because ducks don't fly in V's.
Yeah, you see ducks flying in like
the Anaheim Mighty Geese.
Geese, yeah. Every time I see ducks, there's like two of them. You know,
yeah, they go in pairs.
Yeah,
they don't do that.
It's ducks, geese. It's the same shit. You know, yeah,
right.
It's Disney, man.
It's all Christmas duck.
So they had they came in on the jumbotron, and then they introduced Wild Wing, which is their mascot, which maybe I'm now realizing the etymology of that word. So the silent but ever present Wild Wing, which is a big duck suit with the Jason mask with the bill. He comes out and he's doing things that in any other fashion would be really weird. If a person was like, but not saying anything the whole time, you'd be like, what is with this person? But it's a mascot, so it's okay. They don't talk.
That's really funny.
They just kind of,
no one can hear you moving your body.
For all those listening at home, Dan was
there you go. That's what it was like.
His
that's
arms around
my artificial
like wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man.
Yes. Right. My wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man, down feathers hitting the microphone to, just give you the idea of what it was like. So they bring him out. So you're like, okay, Jesus, they've got Disney on Ice. Then they've got fucking Duckman. So time to start the game, right? Like, God, I have to piss. And they won't let us out into the, when's this game going to start? Oh, no, that's not going to happen. So then the announcer goes, from the depths of below the, I don't know what it was. It was like the Arrowhead Pond at the time, which is not a bad name for a rink. And then it turned into like the stupid Honda Center. Although Honda four-wheelers, number one. So they announced from the depths of his cryogenic chamber, the Iceman cometh.
Oh,
and they're like, what the fuck is this now, dude? This is number 3. Okay. This is 3 things before a game.
That's what that
we haven't even sung the national anthem yet. So they introduced this cryogenic Zamboni chamber that gets pushed out onto the ice, and it opens up and a bunch of like dry ice fog comes out, and a dude wearing a very early 90s ball cap. If that makes any sense to you, it's gonna. If it doesn't, fuck you. It's got like little crystals on it, like little fake plastic crystals on it. Underneath, the guy's got John Lennon glasses, like round ass Weekend at Bernie's sunglasses, and a white painted face and some curly blonde hair, right? And he's got like a Michael Jackson was found frozen in the Italian Alps denim suit on. And he's got fingerless gloves, and he's got a fucking black guitar, and it looks like a Kramer, Eric.
Yep, I remember that.
Right. So if anyone out there, like, imagine a black guitar that Eddie Van Halen would play. It's right. And he's got the earpiece with the microphone, the little bulb on the stem in front of his mouth.
Yeah, dude, it was terrible. Yeah.
So he pops up and he's like, everybody in Anaheim, come on, let me see your hands. I'm forgetting my homework. I'm so sorry to our listener out there, but I can't remember the like stereotypical song. Maybe it was by a French guy who ended up getting busted for like child porn, but it was like the da 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 hey,
it was that one,
right? It's that one.
That is rock and roll part 2,
right?
By Gary Glitter.
So now this fucking guy, he's on this moving Zamboni-esque thing. And there's a couple of like You know those in hot tubs, there's like the metal bars. There's like 3 of them in a row, and you use them to pull up so your ass doesn't slip. Well, he's got like 2 of those to work with, and he's got to climb on top of this Zamboni thing while it's moving with a guitar in his hand. And already the shit is confused as all get out, because we went from Beauty and the Beast on ice to fucking Duck Boy to yet another mascot. What
Duck
the hell
Boy.
is going on? So it's the Iceman, and it's just a dude with a guitar.
With fake ice on his
And
hat.
this fucking white painted face, and he's come on, hey, go ducks, right? So then he gets down from the thing, and they said that they wanted to give him skates, but he's not a skater, so they gave him cleated shoes. So now he's like putting fucking big divot holes in the ice.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently before the game, and he's running around. And there's technical difficulties, so he himself cannot hear what he's saying to the crowd. And it's already a mixed bag. And he was, so this is this guy, the Iceman's real name is Matt McKelvey, local professional musician, actually played keyboards at Disneyland.
Wow.
Or Disney World. I don't know which one is in Florida and which one is in California. But
Disney World is Orlando, right? Evan? Yeah, okay.
it's not important.
Yeah, it's really not.
Mike Ruthnukin. So he did say, you know, for a moment, having 17,000 people in the palm of your hand for 15 minutes was really, really awesome. But then the team started to lose. Now, that jumps ahead to a little bit to the game, but I mean, so this is what you're left with. I mean, you got a guy who's got a guitar in his hands. You can look at the video up on YouTube, and he doesn't really play.
Mm-mm.
So it's really way more of like a fucking hazard to have this stupid thing in your hands. And again, how the fuck is this guy a mascot? He doesn't have a suit on, and he was preceded 5 minutes ago by a mascot with a suit on.
Right.
Why
like
do you need this?
not only a suit, but the suit that represents the team that's about to play? You would think that the game would come after that, right? Nope.
Right,
We're gonna bring out Ice Boy.
Ice Boy. And Ice Boy, the only thing he's got in common, the common denominator is the word ice.
Right.
Okay. Because there's nothing Disney about him.
We're gonna bring out some dude.
There's
and
nothing
he's gonna
fucking
talk.
hockey about him.
Nope.
There's nothing hockey. There's nothing Disney.
Yeah, he
about
doesn't
him.
even wear skates.
So
He
the
can't
report
skate.
is that the dude in charge of PR for the Ducks, who obviously was not a hockey person, he was a Disney person, said, "I'm not saying more is better." All right.
But
Well, clearly that's what you were going for, because more is all you did. All right. But he was like, we did a demographic search for how to reach hockey fans. And, you know, the entertainment value of like the Disney on Ice thing, it just didn't seem enough. So we were supposed to get this guy who had a guitar, and he was like this rock dude, and he was supposed to pop up in random places of the rink and just go into a frenzy and play all this music and just like get people going. And it's like, dude, to me, that is so much worse than even the other part of like the hockey demographic. If you watch NHL channel, the NHL network, all the commercials are dick pills and shit that's veiling itself as something else, but are still dick pills.
right.
That's what they're like. Hey, what? This is like some ex-football player who's like, man, when I found cryogenics, you know, ballgenics, and I injected it straight into my bloodstream, and he's like this like awful looking dude,
Right.
and he's just surrounded by, and they couldn't get like, you know, working models and stuff so they had to bring some out of retirement. It's the best they can do. But that's what they're saying. It's like, hey, when you're watching hockey, this is the like underlying thing of what you're actually thinking about. Okay. So this was Disney's idea, but they couldn't put the sex into it. So they were just
I'm
like,
sure they put it in
rock
there
and
somewhere.
roll, white face man. Huh? So to wrap this bullshit up, all in my heart, I love it, and I know you guys do. All roads lead to Detroit. The Red Wings in their inaugural game, or the inaugural Mighty Ducks game, the Red Wings beat them 6-2 or 7-2. So, and a lot of those goals came early.
Yeah,
for the Wings. So the fans, they're like, dude, you promised us fucking dancing teacups and like a burly dude with like anti-alopecia in a fucking Marine Blues and this Iceman guy who like thought he was gonna give us all cocaine, teach us how to play guitar, and we're fucking getting pounded by this team.
So that's why they did all that, because he knew this team's gonna suck ass. You forget why you're even here. Like, oh, there's a game going on.
But it just turned out like if you really wanted to distract people from the hockey when they came, you should just given them $200 cash
like,
and a bus ticket home.
Yeah,
and be like, go see a Jay Leno show. I don't want to fuck up your Saturday.
So that whole thing, just real quick, reminds me of the American Gladiator, of going and poaching people from other movie sets and bringing them into the place and making them stay there for 4 hours while you watch them set up for the show. Yeah. And then this show happens and you're like, where is happening? Where am I? Maybe
that's the part we don't know about, is that instead of buying hockey tickets, they were just on the Jaws Pops Out of the Water tour.
Right.
And they just funneled them into this other set. And they're like, come watch a hockey game experiment, a hockey type sport.
Yeah.
And they got their asses kicked. But it got so bad for our protagonist here. What was his name? Matt McKelvey.
Ice Boy.
Disney fucking told Ice Boy, like, you should lay low and not tell people your name.
Really?
In case they recognize you.
Shit. Like it was that bad.
Yeah, it got to the point where it was that bad that if people were, they figured if people saw him, I mean, this is their responsibility. They came up with this shit. He was just doing his job. That if people saw him, you know, they might have a problem.
Right. I won't break if I see you crossing the street.
Right. He was paid $1,000 for his woes. Well, that and his troubles and his job. So the entire thing he got $1,000 out of. Right. He did not get a call back. It lasted one game.
Oof.
And in an interview way later, years and years and years later, he finally revealed his name and gave a little anecdote that every time he drives by the Honda Center casually or whatever, he gives him 2 birds.
Yeah,
and flips the fucking thing off with both hands. He's like, it's not that I hate it. It's just a funny thing to do.
He doesn't give it 2 geese.
Right. Yeah. The old double goose.
Right.
And he said the funniest part is that he's actually a Kings fan.
Yeah, of course he is. That's perfect.
So the Iceman goeth.
So the bottom line is the Ducks suck balls.
And always will.
Yeah. Like dick pill balls.
Right. Commercial dick pills.
Right.
Yeah. Nutrenics. Or whatever the fuck it's called.
Nugenics. Qgenics. That was pretty close. That was like the same exact. That was pretty good.
Dude, they should have got me for the.
Yeah.
You should have been the fucking Iceman.
You should run for president.
I should lose for Iceman.
Go all the way to the White House.
We'll cut that motherfucking desk in half.
Cut it.